Division champion bull calf competition in the Angus show today. Your winner is ring number 170, the entry of Mainstream Genetics and Harper Farms. He is Mainstream Flashpoint 22E, and he's received an award courtesy of Las Vegas Farms of Plainfield, Ontario. Your reserve is ring 173, the entry of Worthmore Cattle Company with Worthmore Estrada 7E, and they're receiving a banner courtesy of the Western Ontario Angus Club. So those class results, ring 170 was the winner for Mainstream Genetics and Harper Farms, Mainstream Flashpoint 22E. Second is ring 173 and the reserve champion in the division, Worthmore Cattle Company on Worthmore Estrada 7E. Third in class is ring 171, the entry of Brantner Angus on Brantner's Easy Money 22E. Fourth goes to ring 172, the entry of Melmac Angus on Melmac Pioneer 16E. And fifth is ring 174, the entry of Cedar Hill on Cedar Hill, Enemy of the State.
A little bit of difference in type and kind in this class, but the top three calves in my mind are very useful kind of bulls. The bull that wins the class is probably the most well-balanced calf in the class. I like his shape. I like the thickness throughout. Big old hind quarter in the calf. He looks to me like he's got some future. The bull in second was my troublemaker. I really liked him coming in the ring. Maybe just thought he didn't have quite the rib capacity and shape that the bull did and that won the class. Calf in third's very well balanced. Kind of put together very, very well. If anything, I'd clean up his sheath area just a little bit, but that's nitpicking. And the calves further down the line, all good calves in their own right, just kind of hit a pretty tough class today as far as performance and pizzazz on that front end. Thank you, boss. Uh-huh. Yeah.
In our Angus Senior Bull Calf class, the first class results are as follows. Ring number 180 was the winner for Gilchrist Farms with GF Starting Rumors 318E. Second was ring number 178, the entry of Premier Livestock and Hassan Livestock on Premier Hassan Norris 716. Third goes to ring 175, the entry of Cedarview Cattle Company on Cedarview north of 60. Fourth is ring 176, the entry for Kemp Brothers with Kemp Brothers El Paso 45E. Fifth is ring 179, the entry for Glen Levitt Angus with Glen Levitt Spencer 2E. Sixth is ring 182, the entry for Brantner Angus with Brantner Exceed 6E. And seventh is ring 177, Ranch Dynamic Angus with Dynamic Electric Respawn 3E. The sponsor of the Senior Division Champion Bull Calf is Ottawa Valley Angus Club, and the reserve is Green Tree Angus from Limehouse, Ontario. So our thanks to them. We do have the final class in before the top two from each of the classes will be brought back for the selection of the Senior Champion Bull Calf. So our Simmental show has come to a close, but we have one last, two actually, awards to announce. We don't need cattle, but we want to announce the Premier Breeder and the Premier Exhibitor Award. So the Premier Breeder, collecting the most points for accomplishments throughout the classes today. The Premier Breeder of the 2017 Royal Agricultural Fair Simmental Show is Indian River Cattle Company. Indian River Cattle Company will be your Premier Breeder. The Premier Exhibitor Award, again, is accumulated throughout the show today and how well the animals place. Our congratulations. We have a tie this year. So we have a two-way tie for the Premier Exhibitor Award. Our congratulations goes to Destiny Simmentals and Indian River Cattle Company. Destiny Simmentals and Indian River Cattle Company will be your premier exhibitors here at the 2017 Royal Agricultural Winter Fair Simmental Show. Congratulations.
Real powerful made bull to start this class on the Angus side. Well put together, gets around the ring very well, yet he still has a good look to him. I think he's got some future both in the show ring on into the future and producing the right kind of calves to be in this business. He's got lots of hair, he's got lots of testicle development, and he moves around the ring pretty well. Yet he's a big explosive topped, explosive butted type of an individual. Bull that follows him is very, very well balanced. Full of red meat, not quite as much hair, but he's real easy to look at as well. Bull in third's a moderate made bull, pretty fault free as far as I'm concerned. I like raising them and selling them like this. Just maybe hit a pretty tough class. That's a pretty big spread on the performance for me. Bull in fourth follows my third place quite handily. Both really good bulls, well put together, very fault free, and will make good herd sires in the future. And the bulls on the end of the ring, on the end of the class, good kind of quality bulls. Maybe just like to change their testicle development a little bit or make them move out just a little bit different or better for me today. But good individuals in their own right.
So our congratulations goes to the winning entry, ring 188, the entry of Polestar Angus on Polestar American Pie. Second goes to ring 184, the entry of Brantner Angus on Brantner Exclusive 4E. Third goes to Daisy Springs, the entry of Daisy Springs Zeno 106E. Fourth is ring number 190 for Kemp Brothers on Kemp Brothers Entourage 3E. Fifth is ring 189, the entry of Smelser Angus Farms on SFC Lookout 2E. Sixth is ring 187, the entry of Kemp Brothers with Kemp Brothers Cash In 5E. And 7th is ring number 183, the entry for RK Cattle Company on Reed Home Effective. The bulls coming in now are competing for the senior champion bull calf class, and our thanks to Ottawa Valley Angus Club and Green Tree Angus for being the banner sponsors. Over in our north ring, we'd like to welcome the Limousin breeders. We're getting our Limousin show underway. We'd like to welcome to the center of the ring the gentleman officiating for the Limousin show today is Mr. Josh Taylor. Josh hails from Perkins, Oklahoma, where he manages the cow herd for Griswold Cattle Company. Their focus is on Simmental, Maines, and Angus, and they run a 2,000 cow operation with 7,000 acres to crop. He grew up in the Hereford breed, basically spent 14 years managing a highly competitive Hereford breed and showed all over the U.S. He's judged across North America. Some of the highlights for him were Louisville and Denver. He's married to his wife, Ashley. They have a son, Sam, and they too are a show family where they are focusing on the junior livestock competition. They show heifers, goats, lambs, and pigs. So we're so happy that Josh could take time to come to Toronto and be our official judge in the Limousin show today.
Well, afternoon, everybody. Pleasure to be here and evaluate our Limousin breed of these cattle today. I think a really nice way to start off the heifer show. I think a pretty tight placing up here at the top end of the class. You look at these two younger black heifer calves and really love the outline on each of these females. I think they're stylish in the way that they're built. They're really secure in the way they get out and travel around the ring. I just like the length of side in this heifer that's going to win the class. She just shows us a little more elevation maybe through that front 1/3 and the way she ties in just a little more correctly about the top side of her shoulder, and she certainly doesn't disappoint you from a muscularity standpoint as well. I think this young heifer calf there in the second spot is one that in the future is going to be hard to deal with in the ring. I expect her to really bloom on out and be a force to be reckoned with on down the road. Maybe today just adjust her ever so slightly in the way that her hips designed, elevate her in through that pin set, and relax her in that top, much more like what we see in our class winner, but a beautiful heifer calf there in the second spot. The red female that's going to be third is one that's got some extra size and scale and extension off of both ends. I really have to appreciate that about her for the added performance that you see in her. Just like to maybe deepen her out of that lower 1/3, see just a little more natural spring and shape to that underline as we analyze her with the ones in front of her. And then the black heifer that comes and rounds out this nice set of four is one that is certainly really, really good in her own right. I think you have to love the way that this one gets out and travels. And she too, maybe just a little rougher in her outline. Tone her down in that tail head. See just a little more depth and natural sweep to that underline as well. A nice class and a nice way to start off our Limousin heifer show.
Results from our first class of heifer calves at our Limousin show today. Our congratulations goes to Pinch Hill Limousins with Pinch Hill Enchanted 714E. Second goes to the ring number 1, also the entry of Pinch Hill Limousins on Pinch Hill Exuberance 721E. Third is ring number 3, the entry for Holly Limousins with Holly's SX. And fourth goes to ring number 2, the entry for Three Ridge Farms on Three Ridge Extra Edition. They'll be receiving banners courtesy of Hillside Farms. They are generously donating the champion junior female calf and the reserve. So our thanks to Hillside Farms. The winner of the champion junior heifer calf is Pinch Hill Limousin, and the reserve is also Pinch Hill Limousin. In the Angus show, your senior division champion bull calf is ring number 180. Our congratulations goes to Gilchrist Farms on GF Starting Rumors 318E. He will be your senior division bull calf champion. The reserve is ring 188, the entry of Polestar Angus on Polestar American Pie.
Just one individual in this class, but he's a pretty darn good bull. And I can't screw this class up because he's the only one, so congratulations.
Your bull yearling winner today is ring 191, the entry of Cedarview Cattle Company with Lazy JB Compound Effect 6011D. We're now moving into our yearling bulls. These bulls are born January through to February 2016. The Junior Champion Bull, the award is being presented by the Eastern Ontario Angus Club and the reserve by the Ontario Angus Association.
Two of these red limousine heifer calves here that really match up quite nicely. I just like both of them quite a bit. I think this one up here at the top end is probably as well made and as well balanced as you can get one at this stage of her life. She's got power, she's got performance, ton of volume, ton of stylishness, put it together in a really smooth, well-blended package that is extremely sound made when you set her into motion. That's just an awful good type of a female right there. As can be said about the heifer here in second. Maybe a little bit of difference in terms of bone work and the foot size underneath this one. Maybe just push the tail head down in her just ever so slightly, but I love the body shape and the design to her middle. I think there's a really good female there as well. I think the heifer here in third is one that you really have to admire for how square-made she is, particularly when you view her from behind. You look at this one over the top side of her body and out of her hip and her pelvis, and you look how square-made she is, how roomy she is at the top part of her pelvis, and you have to just picture her as just being a super productive female when she gets into her production cycle of her life. Maybe not quite the elegance and the elevation through that front 1/3, just add some suppleness and eye appeal up there to certainly add to the balance dynamic of that one as we view her from the side. A big frame red heifer that goes out next, probably one that doesn't have quite the transition of muscling down low, particularly in through that quarter and stifle. Just gets a little awkward about those lower extremities as well. Those two black heifers that round out our set of two are females that have some length of spine, some length of side as well. I think we need to drop them down in their body cavity, see a little more natural rib shape and volume to get them up any higher today.
In our intermediate champion female calf, the class winner and also the division champion receiving the Pinch Hill Limousines banner, congratulations goes to ring number 9, the entry of Enright Farms with EXE Lovely 1E. The reserve intermediate calf receiving the Archon Cattle Company banner is ring number 5, the entry of After Hours Limousines with After Hours Ella. Third goes to ring number 6, also the entry of After Hours Limousines with After Hours Emma. Fourth is ring number 8, the entry of Loyal Line on Loyal Line Aliner. Fifth is ring number 10, the entry for Red Maple Farms on Red Maple E Harmony. Sixth is ring number 7, the entry of Gibson Farms on DGL Gibson's Sweet Escape ET. That rounds out the class, and again, our thanks to Pinch Hill Limos for donating the banner to Enright Farms on your intermediate calf champion. And our thanks to Archon Cattle Company for presenting the award to After Hours Limousine on their reserve intermediate calf champion.
On the Angus side, 3 really nice yearling bulls in the first split of yearlings. This bull that wins the class does so on the fact that he can walk around the ring. He moves out really well. He's got a good look to him. He's nice from the side. He's nice from behind. Good set of testicles, and he moves out very freely on them feet and legs. Bull in second's very, very attractive to look at. He offers a lot of high quality to the industry. I just would like to see him moving around just a little bit better than he was when he first come in. And then the third place bull, just a big powerhouse kind of a bull. I really, really appreciate his type and kind, but I'd like him to move out just a little freer than he was.
Congratulations to Tullamore Angus, ring 193, with SCC Bando 17D. Ring number 194 was second for Gilchrist Farms with GF Verdict 71D. And in third goes to ring 192, the entry of Wolf Cattle and Pinnacle View Limousine on Wolf's Cash A404D.
Well, we've got a highly competitive class of these heifer calves out here on the limousine side, and I think a dark red heifer here at the top end, it just puts a lot of good things together. When you start to study her at the ground, you really like the way that she gets out and travels, how square she is and remains square all the way down to the ground when you watch her on the move. I think she's one that has a ton of power in the way that she's built from a muscling aspect. You study her out of her top and out of her hip, plenty of shape and dimension, internal. When you talk about that center, I think there's one that really puts a lot of good things together in a pretty smooth made and well-balanced package. I think the lighter colored heifer here that comes next is one that you have to get up here into the top pair. I think when she gets out on the move, she can really rival our class winner from that structural standpoint, gets out on a nice set of feet and legs, has plenty of shape down her top as well, maybe gives up just a little bit of a lower 1/3 when we look at her versus the heifer that goes out in front. Maybe not quite the balance and eye appeal that we see in that heifer above her, but a nice pair of females. And then we come into a little bit of a smaller frame, lower performing heifer that comes next. I don't hold that against her. I think there's one that is really stylish in the way that she's made. I love her in that top line, how well she blends in through that shoulder and head and neck. Just need to add a little more oomph and power today to get up above those two in front of her. And then a red heifer that comes next. Love the rib shape, love the volume, love the cow look in that one. Just a little uncoordinated in the way that she pieces all the parts together for me today. And then a big volumed heifer that comes next, maybe just add a little more sweep to her underline, strengthen her down that top line in the way that her spine hooks into the top of her shoulder. And then a pair of heifers that come and round out this set, maybe just females that didn't balance out for me from a muscling standpoint and a volume standpoint, but certainly two females that have some form and function built into them.
Over here on the Angus side, big, long and deep-sided power kind of a bull, but he's still got a fairly attractive front end for me. He's still traveling around the ring. These old boys are getting tired, but I like this bull. I think he offers a lot to the industry. The bull that follows him in second, really noticed him coming in the ring. Guess I'd just like to maybe free him up a little bit on them back wheels. The red bull in third, complete package, just not quite measures up to the two bulls that led off the class. And the two good big kind of a powerful bulls in the bottom of the class, just maybe not carrying the overall balance and dimension that I'd like to see, but two really good, useful kind of bulls as well.
So the winner of that class in our Angus show this afternoon is ring 199, the entry of Kemp Brothers on Kemp Brothers Discount 7D. Second is ring 196, the entry of Golden Oak Livestock with Whiskey Lane Dynamite 11D. Third goes to ring 195. This is a class transfer. Third place goes to 195 Rhinestone Farms on Red Rhinestone Mr. D 111D. Fourth is ring 198, the entry of Walker Bray Farms on Walker Bray Illegal Addiction 5D. And fifth is ring 197, the entry of Skomac Livestock with Skomac Dark Knight 106D. We'll now invite back the first and second place bulls from those two classes to compete for the overall champion junior bull. Our thanks to the Eastern Ontario Angus Club and the Ontario Angus Association for their sponsorship of these awards. Over in our limousine competition this afternoon, the class placings are as follows. Ring number 13 was the class winner for Archon Cattle Company with RPY Paynes Echo 26E. Second goes to ring number 16, the entry of Crown Hill Acres on Crown Hill Emerald Jade 5E. Third is ring 17 for Three Ridge Farms on Three Ridge Easy on the Eyes. Fourth is ring 12, the entry of Holly Limousine on Holly's Easy on the Eyes. Fifth is ring 11 for Archon Cattle Company with Arley's Exquisite ET. Sixth is ring 15 for Haystack Acres on Haystack's Elegant Beauty. And seventh is ring 14, the entry of Hillside Farms on Hillside Lady 7E. So exhibiting your champion junior bull today in our Angus show is ring 193. Our congratulations to Tullamore Angus with SCC Bando 17D. He's receiving the award courtesy of the Eastern Ontario Angus Club. Your reserve junior champion bull today is ring 199, the entry for Kemp Brothers with Kemp Brothers Discount 7D, and our thanks to the Ontario Angus Association for sponsoring their award. We're now moving into class number 20 of our Angus bulls. These bulls were born in 2015. The awards are being sponsored by Tullamore Farms for the champion and Burn Brave Farms for the reserve.
Highly competitive set of these limousine heifer calves. I think you've got quality all the way down the line, and probably one of the deepest sets of heifer calves we've seen thus far. Quite a bit of difference up here at the top pair. I think about as opposite as you can get a couple of heifer calves at this stage of their life, and it basically comes down to personal preference and what you like to see, and I just like the structure that you see in this red heifer calf. I think she's one that's a little stouter made. She handles her feet and legs with a little more authority, with a little less deviation than what we have in the black heifer calf behind her. And then you get her on the profile, and she's put together in a really smooth made package. You really can't punch a hole in this one as far as the way that she's put together from a skeletal aspect. I think there's one that just got a ton of good things about her. Pretty complete made, pretty fault-free. I love the profile on this black heifer calf. I think there's one that is superb in the way that she's outlined. I love the balance, and I love the symmetry in this one. I think she's maybe one that wants to run downhill ever so slightly. You look at the way that that spine ties in, just a nickel low at the top of her shoulder. Maybe doesn't handle those feet and legs, particularly when we get right around behind her. We get a little wobble and a little deviation out of that hawk, just a little unsecure in the way that she wants to get out and move around the ring. I think a pretty neat pair of heifers up there at the top end. A pair of females that come next in this class, I think heifers that are really substantial in the way that they're built. However, you start to look at them with the two in front, maybe a little less rib shape, a little less volume in through that center, and they could certainly as well handle just a little bit more muscling when we step around behind them. As can be said about the trio that rounds out the class, I think some really good females down here to round out this highly competitive class. Just some heifers that you'd like to balance them up maybe from the side, see a little less front end and a little more when we get right around behind them. Open them up underneath and see a little more volume down through that lower 1/3.
Okay, 4 really awesome bulls for the senior bull class. Let's give them a round of applause, please, folks. This gets down to personal preference. I just like the look of this first place bull just a little bit more, especially up through that front end. I think all of these bulls are sound enough. I mean, I know what it's like bringing big bulls to town. You wish they'd walk out a little bit more better than they do, but I think to get this far, I think we have to appreciate the weight and the time it takes to bring them. All these bulls in this ring are very sound. Bull in second, big, powerful bull, very well put together. Of course, he's an eye catcher. Just maybe like to clean up the front end a little bit for me today, but I certainly don't want to take away from the top and the hind quarter, the high quality that the bull possesses on the move. Bull in third again, just a little bit shorter bodied bull, but a real complete individual. And the bull in fourth, powerhouse of a bull, real thick, real well put together. Just wish he was traveling out just a little bit different for me today.
Results from our bulls born in 2015. Your winner was ring 201, the entry of Premier Livestock and Hassan Livestock on OHL checkbook 0187C. Second is ring number 202, the entry of Holland Land and Cattle with HLC 101 Crossfire. Third is ring number 200, the entry of Black Lane Farm on Black Lane Crush 8C. And fourth is ring 203, the entry of Enright Farms with EF Colossal 520. That was your senior champion bull class, so the Tullamore Farms Award goes to Premier Livestock, ring 201, and the Burnbrae Farms banner goes to ring 202, Hollinger Land and Cattle. Over in our limousine competition, the last class results are as follows. Ring number 24 was the winner for Railline Farms with RLF Ella 242E. Second is ring number 18 for Ballamore Farm Limited with ECL Evangeline 719E. Third goes to ring number 20 for Archon Cattle Company with Archon's Extra Charmed. Fourth is ring number 23 for Lyle Limousine on XJGL Style 111E. Fifth is ring number 22 for Holly Limousine with Holly's Ebony. Sixth is ring number 19 for Corey Manel on Haystack's Eye Candy. Seventh is ring number 20 for Archon Cattle Company with Archon's Extra Charmed. The Junior Limousine Association is holding a raffle, and they're selling tickets here at the announcer's table. They have a beautiful show box full of grooming supplies. They have a blower, and they have some feed tubs and buckets, everything you need to show cattle they're selling in a raffle. The tickets are $10 each or $25 for 3. And we have 2 young ladies, Paige and Margaret, up here at the table that are looking after this, and they would be happy to sell you tickets. The winner will be drawn after the Junior Limo Show, so we'd like to ask for your support to support the Junior Limousine Association by buying a ticket. So again, you can see these young ladies up here to my right in the announcers, to the right of the announcers table. The tickets are $10 each or $25 for 3, and please support these juniors in their endeavors.
Well, let's give these exhibitors a round of applause. Always a good set of bulls, not as many in number as we get out in Western Canada, but always very, very high quality, and I commend the exhibitors on an awesome show today. It's been an honor and a privilege to be able to judge this show. My family goes way back with the Royal. I think the first banner we won at the Royal was in 1939 with a Percher and Draft horse, and it's always, it's a real pleasure to be here, and I've really, really appreciated seeing the types and kinds of cattle. I've sent some very good cattle back to the barns, but that's the way I see it today, and that's why I'm here, and I'm very, very glad with what I see out in front of me. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it, and I'm going to go slap a champion and reserve bull.
On behalf of the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair and all of the exhibitors, we'd like to thank our judge, John Fox, for traveling from his operation in Lloydminster, Saskatchewan, to act as our official today. We've appreciated his comments as he's worked through his classes so efficiently, and we look forward to his comments as he makes a selection for his Grand Champion bull. And your Grand Champion bulls today comes out of the senior class. Our congratulations to Ring 201, the entry of Premier Livestock and Hassan Livestock, exhibiting the Grand Champion bull at the 2017 Royal Agricultural Winter Fair. He is OHL checkbook 0187C. Reserve Grand Champion bull today is Hollinger Land and Cattle entry, Ring 202. He is HLC 101 Crossfire 569C. Once again, our thanks to the sponsors. The Ellen Vannon Farms is making the presentation to the Grand Champion. The reserve is Worthmore Cattle Company. We appreciate your support. There'll also be a trophy presentation from Don Head Farms of Richmond Hill.